Good evening, everyone. Today we'll be discussing about MongoDB database. MongoDB database is an open source database which is a document-oriented data model. This is one of the leading NoSQL databases in the world today and is written in C++. So this is one of the non-structured query language databases used. This database uses collections instead of tables and documents instead of rows to store the data within it. So now let's see some of the basic questions for which we will be getting the output in MongoDB databases. This is a schema for we'll be creating only one collection in our MongoDB database, and this is the schema. Customer having customer ID, customer name, customer address, city, state and postal code. So the first question here is to create a company database. So this is my MongoDB database, and to create a database called company, I just say use company. So the database is switched to company. And the second one is to create a collection called customer with the above mentioned fields, that is these fields. So before we do that, we have to create a collection called customer first, for which we will be using the query db.create collection of customer. So a collection called customer is created. The next question is to insert 3 documents into the customer collection having this schema. So the query used is db.customer.insert of, here we say customer ID 1, customer name Amanda, and we'll see what else we have here. Amanda, and then we have customer address, the customer address would be let's say Karunya Nagar, and city, state, postal code. City would be Coimbatore, state would be Tamil Nadu, and the postal code would be 64111. So this would create our insert data into the table. So we'll create 2 or 3 documents. Another one would be Mary Smith, and she lives in Karakoram, and the city would be Mysore. The state would be Karnataka. Postal code 571311. The third one would be Kitty, and Kitty lives in Ramnagar. City would be Bangalore. Change it to, okay, so 3 documents are inserted. Now coming to the 4th question, it says to insert a document into the customer collection with the only 2 fields. So only the first 2 fields you have to insert. So that will be ID and name. So we delete everything else. And I'll give some other name. Okay, and this would be 4. Next question is to insert a document into the customer collection with new fields, age and date of birth. So to our previous one, we only add age 23 and date of birth would be 12/10/1998. Yeah, and we'll change this. Make it Sophie. And we'll make this 5. Yeah, inserted. The next question would be to insert a document into the customer collection with new field hobby using save command and observe the difference. So we are going to create another one having a hobby, and we are going to insert it using the save command, for which reason we will remove this insert and give save here, and then we'll create 6 and we'll give Aksa here, and Aksa stays in Longbourn Street, and the city is say California, and the state, no, she stays in, let's just change this, not familiar with the streets, so Gandhinagar, this is Gandhinagar, and the city is Khorkal, imaginary city, and in Madhya Pradesh, and 4, 5, and now her hobby would be reading. So that's the question. Okay, so what's the difference between these two? There is not a big difference that you see. You use save or insert. You can use save or insert to update to insert values into your collection. And then we have this question, the 7th one, to display all the details in the customer collection. For this you use the keyword find. So you say db.customer.find. So this will display all the details of all the documents that you have inserted into your collection. And then here you say the next question is to display all the details in the customer collection which is neatly formatted. For this we have the keyword pretty. So when I give the keyword pretty, you can see that it's neatly formatted here. So there you see it's neatly formatted. And then we have the next question, to update the postal code of Mary Smith to 123456. So for the update command, we have a db dot customer dot update, and into this I give CNAME Mary Smith. Mary Smith, I don't know how. Okay, Mary Smith. Mary Smith. Then I set her postal code to, this is a $set colon postal code, which I'll be setting to 123456. Okay, so it's inserted. Can I see how this, if this is right? Here you go to Mary Smith and the P code is updated to 123456. That's what you see. Coming to the next one, it is to display the details of customer whose age is greater than 40. For this, we use the keyword GT. So you say db.customer.find, and inside this it is to display age. So I say age should be $GT 40. So GT means greater than. It displays the age which is greater than 40. So there is no age which is greater than 40, for which reason I have to insert a document where the age is greater than 40. So we'll do that. Let's create 7 and we will make this name John Smith. John Smith lives in Gandhi Nagar, so Nehru Nagar, and then city will be city can be Bangalore. Okay, Bangalore is the city, right? Yeah. State would be Karnataka. Postal code, just put something. Age I'll give as 50 here. Date of birth I'll just change it to 1928. Is a really old man. I'll remove the hobby. Okay, inserted. Now I give this greater than 40 and I get the name John Smith. John Smith has age which is 50, which is greater than 40. Next question is to display the details of customer living in the city Middletown. So again I use db.find. Okay, there you go. So I find city, or what does it ask? City Middletown. So there is nobody who lives in Middletown. We will just say city Mysore or Bangalore instead. City Bangalore. And then I say dot pretty, so I get my, so there you go, city Bangalore, and I have got 3 documents having city Bangalore. So that's how you execute that query. and this is to display the details of customer whose name is Mary Smith. So instead of city Bangalore, I just say C name Mary Smith. Mary Smith. So here I get the details of this lady Mary Smith. The next question is to display the name and age of the customer whose hobby is dancing. So I say find the hobby should be dancing, so I say dancing. Okay, wait, we do not have a person whose hobby is dancing, right? So we will make one. Hobby colon dancing. 29. Okay, I'm sorry, for 1928 you can't have an age 50, but it's alright. Just wanted to, this person should be at least 120. Okay, 90 years old. We'll make this Mangalore, and we'll make this Indiranagar, and this can be Joe Smith. Okay. Okay. So hobby is dancing, so we give here dancing, and that is the hobby. And then here we'll have another one. So it says to display name and age only. So if I don't just show it here, see name 1, meaning I have to get the name, and age is 1, so I'll get the age, and I have to make sure that I say ID is 0, because otherwise by default I get the ID value. So there you go, I get Joe Smith who is interested in dancing. Next question is to display the details of the customer whose age is the minimum among all the customers. So minimum is in aggregation, comes under aggregation. So instead of find, I'll be using aggregate here. So it will be db.customer.aggregate, in which I put this, and here I say $group. So I say $group because it groups the values according to the grade of the ID. Colon $grade, comma, and we need, what we need is to find age, details of the customer whose age is the minimum. So I say here minimum age colon, this will be $min colon $h. So that's the minimum age among all the documents in my collection is 23, so the details of that customer is given here. Okay, now the next question is to display the average age of the customers. Again, average comes under aggregation. All that I do is I change this min age to average age, and I make this AVG. Average age is 46.5. Now coming to the next question. Here, this is to sort the documents based on the customer name. So I can sort in the ascending order or in the descending order. If it's in the ascending order, I give 1. If it's in the descending order, I give -1. So that will be db.customer.find sort. I'll be sorting it based on the customer name, so that will be cname:1. So it will be sorting in the ascending order. I'll make it pretty so you can see it in the formatted way. So here it's in the ascending order, so J comes first, J, and then we have G, and then we have, wait, it's not sorted. Yeah, sorry. So why is this sorted in this way? Is it sorts the uppercase letters first. So J is uppercase, so this goes first, and then we come to the lowercase. A comes here, and then we have AM, K, M, and then S here and an S here. Okay, so to display the customer name and city without displaying the ID field, so for this I just say db.customer.find, and then I have colon. So I shouldn't be displaying the C name, I shouldn't be displaying the ID field. I display everything else. Name and city is all that I have to display. The ID won't be displayed. So I say cname:1, city is 1, and ID will be 0. So it has displayed name and city without displaying the ID, because by default it will display the ID if I don't give ID as 0. And then next one is to display the names of all customer in uppercase. So this is also under aggregation, but here I say to upper, and I'll be putting the C name in upper, and when I use upper I'll be using project here. So what happens in project is whatever values I place here, it is dynamically what do you call that, pipelined. So you see, okay, I have said average age, I change that, I say uppercase name, uppercase name. So there, uppercase name, and I get it all in uppercase. And then I have the next one. It is to display the name of the customer that ends with N. So again I use the find. Okay, here I use find, and here I'll be putting C name, and here I'll be saying $N. So there is no name which ends with N. So now we'll insert a name which ends with N. So we'll make John Smith as Smitten. 7, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be 9. Okay, and then we'll have ocean, 10. Okay, now we'll see those names which ends with N. So we have Joe Smitten and Ocean. The names end with N. Next question is display the names of customer that starts with J. So here, instead of $N, I give cap J. So there's no name which starts with a small j, so I give a capital J. So we have John Smith, we have Joe Smith, and we have Joe Smitten. Okay. Now the next question is to display the first two documents. For this we use limit. So we say limit keyword find dot limit of 2 dot pretty. So that displays Amanda and Mary Smith. These are the first two documents that I inserted. The next question, it says to display the last 3 documents. So what happens here? The last 3, so the limit is 3, and along with this I add another keyword skip. So what skip does is it skips a certain number of documents to come to the last 3 documents. So in skip I say db.customer.count. So that takes the total number of documents in the customer collection, and then I subtract by 3. I don't have to really use the limit. So that displays the last 3 documents that I inserted: Joe Smith, Joe Smitten, and Ocean. That is the last 3 documents. So that's it for MongoDB creation, insertion, updation. Thank you.